Thank you for tuning in to Terry Swoop Videos. I wanted to talk about Candace Owens' new book. Her new book sold 100,000 copies in 2 days. And it's selling at $20 a pop. If you do the math, that's $2 million in profits. Selling at $20 a pop, 100,000 copies sold. That's an estimated $2 million in profits. Candace Owens is officially a millionaire. Now, Candace Owens is a controversial figure. There's some people that love her. There's some people that hate her. But I'm happy to see a young black person being successful, whether I agree with their views or not. I think the political climate in today's society is outrageous. It's gotten to the point where liberals and conservatives can't even sit down and have a civilized conversation. There's so much hatred in the political divide to the point where people can't even sit down and have a civilized conversation about their differences. I think one of the things that may be fueling Candace Owens' sales is her feud with Cardi B. She recently had a feud with Cardi B where they went back and forth on Instagram, on Twitter, and they were talking shit about each other. And I think this may be fueling her sales because a lot of people who don't like Cardi B have bought Candace Owens' book. A lot of people don't like Cardi B. They don't like her ratchet buffoonery. And they saw how Candace Owens completely destroyed her in this debate that they had. And this is the reason why a lot of these people bought Candace Owens' book. So I think this was actually what's fueling her sales. Now, I have mixed feelings about Candace Owens. On one hand, I think she's very brave by going against the popular opinion because a lot of younger black folks have a habit of just going along with the popular opinion on social media. No matter how ridiculous the popular opinion is, most younger black folks will simply go along with the popular opinion on Twitter and social media. What I respect about Candace Owens is she's an independent thinker. She doesn't just go along with the popular opinion. And if you don't go along with the popular woke Twitter opinion, a lot of people will say you're a coon and you're a self-hater. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're a black person who doesn't go along with the popular leftist opinion on Twitter, you're going to be called a coon, you're going to be called a sellout, you're going to be called a self-hater. So I respect Candace Owens for being an independent thinker and not always going along with the popular opinion. Because it's easy to go along with the popular opinion. You're not taking a risk by going along with the popular opinion. And this is what people don't realize. You're only taking a risk when you go against the popular opinion. You're taking a bigger risk by saying all lives matter versus saying Black Lives Matter. The corporate media supports Black Lives Matter. So going along with the corporate media narrative, you're not taking a risk by doing that. You're actually taking a risk by going against the popular opinion corporate media narrative. So I respect Candace Owens for being brave enough to have her own independent point of view. Now, do I always agree with Candace Owens? No, I don't. She says some things that I completely disagree with. I mostly disagree with Republicans on social issues, like legalizing marijuana and the war on drugs. And I mostly disagree with Democrats on economic issues, like socialism and high taxes. I don't support any of that. And this is why I'm an independent. I see the flaws on both sides of the aisle. What I want to encourage black people to do is be critical of both parties. You shouldn't just go along with one side and vote 90% Democrat every election. Black people have been voting 90% Democrat for the last 50 years, and it hasn't gotten us anywhere. The true meaning of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. I would rather for black people to not vote at all than to just vote Democrat every election. And for example, I'm not voting in the upcoming election. I'm not voting for either candidate. I'm staying at home. I'm not telling you to think the way Candace Owens is thinking. I'm not saying you need to become a conservative or become a Republican. I'm not Republican. I've never voted Republican before in my life. But I respect the fact that black Republicans are not afraid to go against the popular opinion. They're not afraid to go against the majority. I have to respect that even if I don't agree with it. So I just want to encourage black folks to be independent thinkers. Be critical of everything. Don't just go along with something because it's popular on social media. So much, I'm happy for Candace Owens' success. She's probably going to sell 1 million copies with this book. If she sold 100,000 in 2 days, by the end of the month, she's going to be and sold 1 million copies.
It has been the most amazing week, one of the most amazing weeks of my life. I cannot believe that Amazon sold out of their 90,000 copies that they had of Blackout. I can't believe that this many of you guys went out and bought the book. And I had a conversation with my little sister, and I just sort of wanted to recap it because I'm feeling so emotional and so happy right now. You know, we were just sort of talking about just everything that we've lived through, and just she was telling me how proud she was of me, because I've always just sort of been an underdog, and I've always been underestimated throughout my entire life. I mean, I'm a girl that came from low income housing. I know those of you that have the book now really know my backstory and why I believe what I believe. But, you know, being a girl who had parents, one who didn't even graduate high school, um, uh, who had you out of wedlock, had all of their children out of wedlock before they got married. Um, the odds were just stacked against me my entire life. And being the girl that couldn't afford, her family couldn't afford to pay for field trips, couldn't go on the field trips, being the girl that her parents couldn't afford to send her to college, and had to take out all of these loans, and having people just constantly throughout my life just not think that I would be anything. And then people in society telling you that because Sally Mae had a big collapse and they can't give you a loan in your senior year, you're nothing but a college dropout, you're not going to make it. And doing it on my own, paying back my loans, you know, moving to New York, getting a good job and paying down those loans was like the first thing that was amazing. And my whole life, I remember in 6th grade, we made a time capsule, and we had to say what we wanted to be doing when we were adults. And I said I wanted to be a published, best selling author. It was my one escape in life, books. No matter how poor you are, you can pick up a book, you can read it, and you can escape to another world. And that is what books have always done for me in my life. I loved to read. English and writing was always my thing. I double majored in English and journalism in college, and I always said to myself, if I could be anything, it would just be an author, to bring people closer to understanding themselves and understanding me. And I just thought, if I could take people to another world in the way that other authors took me to another world, if I can take some poor girl who lives in a low income housing or doesn't have money to another world, then I would feel like that I had done something right in life. So to get the news today that 90,000 copies sold, it was just surreal. People doubted me when I got into politics, left and right, right? I mean, I was just the girl, just the YouTuber, just the college dropout. And then I became just the girl that does college campuses. And people mocked me when I was working for Turning Point, and oh, she'll never be anything beyond that, the communications director. And then I became just the girl who started Blexit, and the whole world laughed and said that it would never be anything, and that I would never be anything after Kanye West. And then I look up today, and Blexit is in 25 states. We have 25 chapters. We opened our first offices this year. I have employees, just the underestimation, just the YouTuber, just the girl from the poor building with the roaches. And now I have my own business. And now people doubted that I'd be able to put together a book. Um, and I wrote it myself, and people are loving it, and people are reading it, and people are seeing where my heart is in all of this, because for too long I've allowed the media to create a caricature of me and for the media to dictate who and what Candace Owens is, and none of it's been true. And I got to finally put it down. And I don't know, I'm just emotional and wanted to say thank you to all of you guys who believed in me despite all of the media rhetoric, despite people saying that I couldn't, despite people shunning me and telling me that I wasn't the right kind of person to be in politics. I was too funny. I was having too much fun. I was making YouTube videos. And now people are starting to realize that they've underestimated me over and over and over again. And to be honest, this is just the beginning. It's crazy when something has been on your bucket list your whole life and you strike it off, and Blackout's only been on sale for 2 days. um, yeah, I just want to say thank you, because I wish I could reach out and hug every single person through this phone. I really do, because I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't exist if the people didn't believe in me. Not the corporations, not the media, not the establishments of the political, the political class, but the people who saw me off of YouTube into this incredible moment. And of course, thank you. I know I'm giving like an acceptance speech, but I just also want to just thank my family for standing by my side, because this rocket ship that I've been on has not been easy for them either. And they have just been rock solid. I love the Owens family so much. They're just the absolute best. And of course, my book was dedicated to my granddad and my grandma. So thank you to them as well. I know a lot of you guys are asking me about getting signed copies or how to get your book signed. COVID-19 restrictions have made it really hard to go on a book tour, but I did put these little things I've been signing all day, these wonderful little inserts that you can get on CandaceOwens.com, and you just paste it inside of the book. So you just have to go to CandaceOwens.com, and you literally, these are stickers, and you can just paste it. And yes, I am signing each and every one of them, so you're not getting a stamped copy or anything like that.